I was checking the load capacity on the new crane when my phone buzzed. Text from Wade Morrison, my construction manager. Garrett, we're promoting Nicole Brooks to operations director instead of you. She brings fresh engineering perspective. Meeting at 3 p.m. No explanation, no sit-down conversation. Just a text message after 24 years of keeping job sites safe and profitable. I'm Garrett Pierce, 45 years old, and I've been working construction since I was 21. Started swinging a hammer right out of high school, worked my way up through every trade you can name. I set the phone down on my hard hat and walked over to where the crew was setting rebar for the foundation. The steady rhythm of hammers hitting steel felt different now, like equipment running out of tolerance. Wade was standing near the trailer, coffee in hand, talking to Nicole like she'd just solved our scheduling problems. She had her civil engineering degree and a fresh MBA, plus that confidence that comes from never having to explain to a widow why her husband didn't come home. What she didn't have was any idea how to actually run a construction site. I'd been training her for 8 months, showing her the safety protocols I developed, the crew management systems that kept our injury rate at 0 for 3 years straight, the subcontractor relationships I'd built over 2 decades. She took notes, asked good questions, and apparently decided my job looked better than hers. When I reached them, Wade handed me an envelope. Thanks for mentoring, Nicole. He said, she's really absorbed your systematic approach to site management. My systematic approach, that's what we were calling 24 years of keeping people alive and projects on budget. I opened the envelope while they watched. Inside was a performance review and a transfer to senior safety coordinator, same pay, less authority, and a desk job instead of field supervision. They wanted me to document my procedures and then step aside quietly. I folded the papers and tucked them in my shirt pocket. When does this take effect? Monday, Wade said. Nicole's got some innovative efficiency projects planned. Efficiency projects using the safety protocols I'd spent years refining, the crew management techniques that kept our turnover under 5%, the supplier relationships I'd built through handshakes and delivered promises. All of it would get rebranded as data-driven construction management. My wife Rachel had been counting on this promotion. We talked about it over dinner for months. The extra money would help with our son Danny's college tuition and finally get us ahead on the mortgage. Now I'd have to explain why 24 years of dedication wasn't enough. But here's what they didn't know. For the past 6 months, I'd been talking with Corey Williams, who runs a family construction outfit about 30 miles south called Williams Construction. Started as project discussions, turned into something more. Corey appreciated old-school reliability over PowerPoint presentations. That afternoon, I cleaned out my trailer. 24 years of documentation, supplier contacts, safety improvements, and crew management guides went into boxes, not because I was bitter, but because it was mine. Developed through experience, trial and error, and watching what actually worked on real job sites. The safety protocols I'd created weren't in any manual. They were based on 20 years of seeing near misses and preventing accidents. The subcontractor relationships that got us priority scheduling and fair pricing were built on trust and keeping commitments. The crew management systems that kept good workers coming back were learned through understanding what motivated different people. I left copies of the official procedures, but the real knowledge, the experience that made those procedures work, that walked out with me. Monday morning, Nicole moved into my trailer, new nameplate, fresh whiteboard covered in engineering terms like systematic optimization and efficiency matrices. She called an all-hands meeting to introduce her vision. We're going to streamline our approach, she announced. Garrett built a solid foundation, but it's time to move beyond traditional methods and embrace modern efficiency standards. The crew looked at each other. Shane Davis, who'd worked with me for 14 years, just shook his head. These guys knew the difference between theory and reality. By Wednesday, the first problem hit. The concrete pour for Building C was scheduled according to Nicole's optimized timeline, but she hadn't accounted for the curing time variables I'd built into our scheduling. Standard engineering said 24 hours, experience said 36 hours for our climate conditions and mixed specifications. They poured at 24 hours. Compression strength failed inspection. 2-day delay while they jackhammered out the bad concrete and started over. Thursday brought another issue. Our primary electrical subcontractor, Martinez Electric, needed to discuss the upcoming high-voltage installation. Nicole scheduled a formal meeting with contracts and specifications. What she didn't know was that Miguel Martinez and I had worked together for 12 years. We'd handled complex installations with verbal agreements and mutual trust. Miguel called me directly. "Garrett, what's happening over there?" "This new supervisor wants to renegotiate everything from scratch. Says she's optimizing vendor relationships." I told him I wasn't involved anymore. He said Martinez Electric would honor existing contracts, but wouldn't be extending any special accommodations going forward. No more priority scheduling, no more bulk pricing, everything by the book. By the second week, the problems were multiplying. Site efficiency dropped 12% because they were following generic procedures instead of job-specific protocols. Equipment downtime increased because they missed the preventive maintenance schedules I'd customized for our particular machines. 2 experienced crew members quit because Nicole's management style treated them like interchangeable parts instead of skilled craftsmen. Shane started texting me updates, not because I asked, but because he was watching 24 years of proven systems collapse in real time. "She's got consultants coming in next week," he wrote, "going to analyze our processes and recommend improvements. The same processes I developed through years of trial and error. Now they'd pay consultants $180 an hour to reverse engineer what they already had." Meanwhile, I was getting settled at Williams Construction. Corey's operation was smaller but smarter. Family-owned, 3 generations of building quality projects without the corporate overhead. When I explained what I could bring to their operation, Corey didn't ask for presentations or data projections. "Show me," he said. I spent 2 weeks analyzing their workflow. Identified bottlenecks they'd been working around for years, proposed changes to their safety program, suggested equipment upgrades that could cut labor costs 8%. Corey gave me complete authority. "You've been doing this longer than my nephew's been alive," he said. Make it work, and it did work. Within a month, we'd improved their project completion rate 15%, cut safety incidents to 0, streamlined their supply chain so materials arrived when needed, not when convenient for suppliers. The best part was Corey offered partnership, not just employment. After 24 years of making other people's projects profitable, someone finally wanted to share the upside. Back at my old company, things kept getting worse. The consultants finished their analysis and recommended implementing optimized construction management protocols. Basically, they studied my old systems, gave them technical names, and charged $60,000 to tell Wade what he already knew. But implementation was a disaster. The consultants understood theory, not application. Equipment that needed specific handling got generic treatment. Subcontractors that required personal relationships got form emails. Crew members that responded to respect got corporate management techniques. Shane's updates became more frequent. 4th equipment breakdown this month, Wade's looking stressed. Nicole's blaming inherited inefficiencies and legacy problems. Legacy problems. That's what they called 24 years of keeping projects on time and under budget. The breaking point came during their 3rd month of consultant-driven improvements. The crane on Building D failed spectacularly. Not routine maintenance, but catastrophic hydraulic failure that should have been prevented by proper monitoring protocols. The kind I developed specifically to catch early warning signs. But Nicole's team was following consultant recommendations, not real-world experience. They missed the pressure fluctuations, ignored the temperature readings, and pushed the equipment past safe operating limits because the data said it was within acceptable parameters. 6-hour shutdown, emergency equipment rental, overtime crews working through the weekend, customer penalty clauses that cost more than my annual salary. The kind of cascading failure that happens when you replace institutional knowledge with theoretical frameworks. Shane sent me a photo from the job site. Nicole and Wade's trailer getting a serious talking to word. Is the board wants answers. I didn't feel satisfaction looking at that picture. Just sadness that 24 years of building reliable systems had been destroyed because someone confused credentials with competence. At Williams Construction, we were hitting our stride. The improvements I'd implemented were generating serious profits. Corey was talking expansion, maybe a 2nd location. We'd landed 3 major contracts by underbidding competitors who couldn't match our cost structure. "Garrett," Corey said one afternoon, "how would you feel about becoming my partner? Full authority, equity stake, and we're setting up profit sharing for the crew supervisors." Partnership, the same position I'd been denied at my old company, but with real authority and shared ownership at a place that valued results over politics. Rachel was thrilled when I told her that night. The salary increase was significant, but the equity stake was life-changing. For the first time in 24 years, my expertise would build wealth for our family instead of just preventing problems for someone else's bottom line. "You deserve this," she said. 24 years of them taking you for granted. Now they'll see what they lost. The situation got even better 8 months later when we started competing directly with my old company. Same customer base, similar projects, but we could deliver faster and cheaper because our operation actually worked. The first contract we won was significant. Municipal building project that Morrison Construction had bid on for years. When the city put it out for competitive bids, Williams Pierce came in 15% lower with better completion timelines. Shane texted me that night. Heard you guys won the courthouse project. Wade called an emergency meeting. Nicole's talking about reassessing our competitive positioning. Reassess our competitive positioning. She was learning that process documentation, without understanding, is just expensive paperwork. More contracts followed. Our lean operation could underbid the bloated bureaucracy I'd left behind. Customers who remembered my reliability followed the work to Williams Pierce. Subcontractors who valued relationship-based business gave us priority treatment. The municipal project manager called Corey directly. Your site supervisor, Garrett, used to work with our previous contractor. We followed him here because he actually delivers what he promises. Word spreads fast in construction. Customers talk to other customers. Subcontractors compare notes. When you've built trust over decades, people remember. And when that trust walks out the door of one company, it doesn't disappear, it just relocates. Within 10 months, Morrison Construction was in serious trouble. Equipment failures were constant because they'd abandoned the maintenance protocols that actually worked. Project delays were affecting customer relationships. They'd burned through 4 different consulting firms trying to solve problems I could have prevented with a single phone call. The final straw came when their biggest customer, Thompson Industries, terminated their contract early. Safety violations, schedule delays, and quality issues had eroded a relationship that took years to build. The purchasing manager called me the day after they canceled. Garrett, heard you're at Williams Pierce now. We've got a major infrastructure project coming up. You interested in bidding? Just like that. A $1.2 million annual contract walked out of Morrison Construction's portfolio and into ours. Not because we poached it, but because competence has a reputation that follows you wherever you go. Then came the call I'd been expecting. Wade's number showed up on my phone at 8:30 on a Thursday morning. Garrett, we need to talk. Can you come in today? I could hear the desperation under his professional tone. Production problems were becoming cost overruns. Customer complaints were turning into contract reviews. The board was asking questions Wade couldn't answer. I've got 30 minutes at 2 p.m., I told him. When I walked into his office that afternoon, Wade looked like he'd aged 5 years in 10 months. Nicole was there too, laptop open, looking defensive. We're experiencing some operational challenges, Wade began. Transition issues. We were hoping you might consult on some technical matters. They wanted to hire me back as a contractor to fix the problems created by replacing me. What kind of technical matters? I asked. Nicole jumped in. We're having some equipment reliability issues and subcontractor relationship complications. Your institutional knowledge could help us optimize our troubleshooting protocols. Institutional knowledge, subcontractor relationship complications. She was describing the collapse of everything I'd built, using engineering language to avoid saying they'd made a mistake. You want me to fix the problems you created by getting rid of me, I said. Wade shifted uncomfortably. It's not that simple, Garrett. We value your expertise. We're prepared to offer competitive consulting rates. What rates? $140 an hour, short-term basis. I almost laughed. They were willing to pay me $140 an hour to rebuild systems I'd maintained for years at my regular salary. And when I finished, Nicole would get credit for turning around operational challenges. I appreciate the offer, I said, but I'm not available. Wade's face went pale. Garrett, be reasonable. We can work something out. I'm being reasonable, I said. You decided you didn't need my expertise. Turns out you were wrong. That's not my problem anymore. I left that meeting knowing they were finished. Equipment failures were increasing. Costs were climbing. Customer satisfaction was dropping. Their solution was to throw consulting dollars at problems that required experience. 6 weeks later, Shane texted me with news that closed the circle. Nicole got fired yesterday, board meeting this morning. Wade's announcing retirement next month. The house of cards had finally collapsed. Not because I pushed it, but because I stopped holding up the foundation. At Williams Pierce Construction, We were preparing for our biggest expansion yet. The success we'd achieved had attracted attention from the State Transportation Department. They wanted to discuss a long-term partnership that would triple our production capacity. Corey called me into his office the morning before the meeting. "Garrett, this is your show. You built what they want to partner with. I want you to lead the negotiation." Leading negotiations, making strategic decisions, having my expertise recognized and rewarded. Everything I'd been denied at Morrison Construction was becoming reality at Williams Pierce. The transportation department meeting exceeded expectations. They'd researched our safety record, talked to our customers, reviewed our project completion rates. What impressed them most wasn't our equipment or facilities, but our operational consistency. "Your safety metrics are exceptional," their project director said. 24 months of zero incidents, 100% on-time completion, industry-leading cost efficiency. "How do you maintain that level of performance?" "Experience," I told him. "We don't chase theories. We solve problems." They offered a 4-year partnership worth $4.5 million annually, guaranteed volume, premium rates, and performance bonuses for exceeding safety targets. The kind of deal that transforms a family business into an industry leader. That night, Rachel and I celebrated at the restaurant where we'd had our first date 26 years ago. The equity stake I'd earned at Williams Pierce was now worth serious money. Danny's college tuition was covered. The mortgage would be paid off within 18 months. "You know what the best part is," Rachel said. "It's not the money. It's seeing you respected for what you do instead of taken for granted." She was right. For 24 years, I'd been treated like a necessary cost instead of a valuable asset. Now, my expertise was generating wealth instead of just preventing problems. 3 months later, I got a call that brought everything full circle. The construction management firm that had bought Morrison Construction's assets after bankruptcy wanted to meet. They'd heard about my track record at Williams Pierce and were interested in hiring me to restart operations. "We understand you built the original systems," their representative said. "The facility has potential, but it needs experienced leadership. We're prepared to offer substantial compensation for your expertise." They wanted to pay me $180,000 base salary plus performance bonuses to rebuild what I'd already built once. The irony was perfect. "I'm not interested," I told them. That facility had its chance with my systems. They chose differently. "Mr. Pierce, be practical. This could be very lucrative for you." "It's not about money," I said. "It's about respect. That place never valued what I brought to it. I'm not interested in going back to fix their mistakes." The industry trade publication ran a feature story 2 weeks later. Williams Pierce Construction experienced Trump's theory in competitive construction. The article detailed our success using proven safety protocols and veteran leadership. My phone rang within hours of publication. Industry contacts, former colleagues, even competitors wanting to know how we'd achieved such dramatic improvements. The construction community is small. Word travels fast when someone gets results. But the call that meant the most came from Travis Coleman, my old mentor who'd retired 5 years ago. He'd seen the article and wanted to congratulate me. "Garrett, I've been watching your career for 20 years, he said. "What you've built at Williams Pierce is what construction used to be about. Competence, reliability, and respect for the work. You should be proud." Coming from Travis, that meant everything. He taught me that construction wasn't just about making things work, but about building something that lasted, something you could be proud to put your name on. The final chapter came exactly 1 year after I'd left. Shane, who'd managed to survive the chaos at Morrison Construction, called with an update that brought everything full circle. "Garrett, you're not going to believe this," he said. "The management firm shut down the whole operation yesterday, sold the equipment to a scrap dealer. Buildings going up for lease. 24 years of building something solid, destroyed in 18 months by people who confused credentials with capability." But that wasn't my story anymore. Mine was still being written. At Williams Pierce Construction, we were celebrating our most successful quarter in company history. The transportation partnership had exceeded projections by 25%. Our workforce had grown from 45 to 78 employees. Corey was talking about opening a second facility to handle overflow demand. That morning, he called me into his office with news that changed everything again. "Garrett, I've been thinking about succession planning. My son's more interested in law school than construction. Would you consider becoming my full partner? 50-50 ownership after a 3-year transition period. Partnership, not employment, but ownership." After spending 24 years making other people wealthy with my expertise, someone wanted to share the equity I created. What would that look like? I asked. You buy in at current valuation, which your profit sharing has more than covered. We restructure as Williams Pierce Construction. You take over day-to-day operations. I handle strategic planning and customer relationships. We build this thing together. Williams Pierce Construction. My name on the building. My expertise creating wealth for my family instead of just preventing problems for someone else's company. That night, Rachel and I sat on our back porch talking about the offer. Danny was finishing his sophomore year at State with no student loans. Our mortgage would be paid off next year, 12 years early. The equity stake was building real generational wealth. What do you think? I asked her. I think you've earned this 10 times over, she said. 24 years of them taking you for granted. And now someone wants to make you an equal partner. That's what respect looks like. 3 months later, the sign went up. Williams Pierce Construction. My name in letters 3 feet tall, visible from the highway. 45 years old and finally building something that belonged to me. The transition happened faster than expected. Corey's vision and my operational expertise created synergy neither of us had anticipated. Orders were increasing monthly. Our reputation for reliability and innovation was attracting customers from across the region. One morning, while reviewing production reports, I got a LinkedIn message that made me smile. Nicole Brooks had found a new position as process improvement specialist at a consulting firm in Ohio. Her profile highlighted her experience leading operational transformation initiatives in challenging construction environments. Leading operational transformation initiatives. That's how you describe destroying 24 years of proven systems and getting fired for incompetence. But the message that meant the most came from an unexpected source. Miguel Martinez from Martinez Electric, our old subcontractor, called to congratulate me on the partnership announcement. Garrett, I've been following your success at Williams Pierce. Impressive turnaround. We'd like to discuss becoming your primary electrical contractor again. Same terms we had when you were reliable people. Reliable people. That said everything about the difference between building relationships and managing vendor databases. 6 months into the partnership, Construction Weekly ran a cover story, Williams Pierce, How Old School Values Beat New Age Theory. The article featured a photo of me standing next to our newest equipment, explaining how experience-based decision-making outperforms data-driven theory. In today's construction environment, I told the reporter, everyone wants to optimize and innovate. But sometimes the best innovation is just doing proven things consistently well. Our success comes from respecting the fundamentals, not reinventing them. The story generated calls from industry groups wanting me to speak at conferences, universities asking me to guest lecture on practical construction management, trade associations offering board positions. Recognition I'd never sought was finally coming. Not because I'd played political games, but because I'd focused on building something that worked. Danny graduated college debt-free and joined our estimating department. Shane Davis followed me from Morrison 8 months after I left, and now runs our residential division with equity participation. Rachel's medical bills from her surgery last year were covered by our health plan with money left over for the family vacation we'd been postponing for years. Today, I'm sitting in my office at Williams Pierce Construction, reviewing expansion plans for our new municipal division. On my desk is a framed photo of our safety award ceremony and a copy of the Construction Weekly cover story. Not because I'm dwelling on the past, but because they remind me of the journey from being undervalued to being irreplaceable. Corey stopped by this morning with profit-sharing calculations for the year. Our 78 employees are getting bonuses averaging $3,200 each. Shane Reynolds from our residential crew is buying his first house with his bonus and equity participation. Garrett, this operation's performing 30% above projections, Corey said. The partnership's working exactly like we hoped. Our people are telling me this is the best place they've ever worked. That's what happens when you value experience over credentials, relationships over reorganizations, and results over theories. When you remember that construction is about making things work, not making presentations look impressive. Morrison Construction's old facility is now a shopping center. Home Depot anchors one end, chain restaurants fill the middle. The equipment yards where I spent 24 years coordinating deliveries are now parking spaces for people buying lawn mowers and eating fast food. But that's their story. Mine continues every day at 6 a.m. when I walk through our job sites, checking safety protocols, talking to crew members, solving problems that textbooks never mentioned. Building something solid, something lasting, something I can put my name on with pride. Nicole's probably somewhere explaining to interview panels how she led operational optimization initiatives and drove organizational transformation. The consulting firm that hired her can figure out what that actually means. Me, I'm building Williams Pierce Construction into something that will outlast us all. One safe, profitable project at a time. Because in the end, that's what construction is really about. Building things that work, keeping promises, and respecting the people who do the actual work. Sometimes, if you're lucky, the respect comes back to you. Respect isn't given to titles, it's earned through results, and it follows you wherever your competence leads. The best revenge against being undervalued isn't proving them wrong, it's building something so successful that their opinion becomes irrelevant. When they replace your decades of earned wisdom with someone's fresh degree, they're not upgrading. They're trading a foundation for a blueprint, and blueprints don't hold up buildings when the ground starts shaking. The companies that discard loyalty for credentials will always wonder why their best people become their strongest competitors. They never learn that respect. Once lost, doesn't come back, it just finds a new address.